Ladies and gentlemen, it is your man Jelani JB Bodie, host of this thing called The Wait a Minute Show, and I'm back in the building once again, coming to you hump night, giving you your sports fix like we always do at this time. We got football, we got basketball is on the way, and there was a new bill passed. Maybe a game changer. We'll talk about that and more. It's The Wait a Minute Show. Let's go!
Blood up on the wall, can you see it? As the people fall from an AK-47, spraying down the hall. Oh, this screaming, this act is so inhuman. This must be living in a nightmare. Oh, yeah. If you can see what I see, yeah, we're living in a nightmare. Oh, yeah. If you can see what I see, yeah, we're living in a nightmare. Oh, yeah. If you can see what I see, yeah, we're living in a nightmare. Oh, yeah. If you can see what I see, yeah, we're living in a nightmare. My things won't that so man, won't that so man. Your dreams, my things won't that so man. Why would you wanna be right when what's wrong is what's right? In my darkness is light, I have you shining so bright. I give you power and hoes, flashy cars and the clothes, couple pounds of this drone. If you want it, let's go, let's get this money. Money, I see you looking at the money. Money, you bowing down to this money. Money, you're doing something strange for this piece of change. We're living in a nightmare. Oh, yeah. If you can see what I see, yeah, we're living in a nightmare. Oh, yeah. If you can see what I see, yeah, we're living in a nightmare. Oh, yeah. If you can see what I see, yeah, we're living in a nightmare. Oh, yeah. If you can see what I see, yeah, all I see is bloodthirsty politicians, ultimate vampires, ultimate vampires, ultimate vampires, zombies and ghouls who are ruled by desire, in a world that's burning up with hellfire. Back to scene one, where the damage was done. You need to look in this mirror. Who are you running from? What have you done? What have you done? Can't wipe the blood off your hands. Smear it off if you can. Can't escape from the truth. Deep within lies of proof. The evidence is off the meter. Oh, you're as guilty as your leader. We're living in a nightmare. Oh, yeah. If you can see what I see, yeah, we're living in a nightmare. Oh, yeah. If you can see what I see, yeah, we're living in a nightmare. Oh, yeah. If you can see what I see, yeah, we're living in a nightmare. Oh, yeah. If you can see what I see, yeah, we're living in a nightmare. We are living in a nightmare.
It's the Wait a Minute Show.
This is a podcast.
It's the Wait a Minute Show.
show. JB Bodie, that's my bro. Wait a minute, show. My man Pan is on the low. Wait a minute, show. JB Bodie, that's my bro. Wait a minute, show. My man Pan is on the low. Coming straight out of Flake, Michigan. JB Bodie is him again. 2 times Wednesday, Saturday. Show make you wanna sing Donny Hathaway. Facebook Live, Spreaker.com. It's the Wait a Minute Show, fam, and we drop bombs as we proceed. Just tune in, no need to take a feed. Hanging with the Stews. JB, that's my dude. And I don't mean to be rude, but these other shows lame like eating prunes. Facebook got you tweaking. Speakers, eardrums bleeding. JB got what you need. My man Lopez saying yes indeed. Go to thewaitaminteshow.com to follow all episodes.
Ladies and gentlemen, what is up? It is your man, Jelani JB Bodie, host of this thing called The Wait a Minute Show, and we are back in the building once again. And when I say we, it is me and it is he. It is H-E, it is him, H-I-M, it is them when we're together. However way you want to put it, but we are in the building to do our thing. It is none other than the L, the O, the P, the A, the N, my man, Lopan. So I want to go ahead and get Lopan out the way because we got a lot of stuff to talk about, and we're not going to play around, with Lopan and gas him up like we normally do. Yeah, we don't have time, for this show, Lopan. So I want to do my due diligence. I want to be nice. I want to, do what I always do, and then get you out of the way and up and somewhere. I don't know. I mean, you got your phone on you. Maybe you can play with on your phone or something like that. But Lopan is an afterthought right now. We are talking sports. But before we do that, ladies and gentlemen, before we get into these sports topics, we are here in the ATL, in the Lions Den studios. And I mention that because not only are we in the ATL, something else is about to go down in the ATL, and that is TDSS 5. It's right around the corner, ladies and gentlemen, October 18th, 19th, and 20th. So now we have less than a month. We actually have 16 days. So we actually got a little bit over 2 weeks left before it kicks off. And you do not want to miss it. If you have not already registered, all you got to do is go to xsquadaffiliates.com/TDSS5. That is T as in Tom, D as in David, SS5. xsquadaffiliates.com/TDSS5. Get yourself registered, get down here for the 3-day event, and have a good time here in the ATL. Or if you already are in the ATL, then make sure you're registered so you can have an awesome weekend planned to hang out with a lot of cool people, none other than the man himself, Doug Stewart. So, ladies and gentlemen, do not forget that. Also, do not forget the Wait a Minute Show, Saturdays, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time as well on thewaitaminteshow.com. So we have Wednesday that you're listening to right now, but we also have Saturday as well. So we have 2 shows, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And of course, if you're listening to this live right now, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to listen to your boy talk sports and among other things. So that is out the way. Let's see. I think I talked about my vacation. Yes, last week I talked about my vacation, so we don't need to talk about that at all. But one thing we will be talking about at the end of the show, you do not want to miss it. I am handing out a Big L award. The Big Loser Award is going to someone who has done something very loserish. And it's just really to pour on to the misery that is going on right now. So do not miss that at the end of the show. The Big L Award, the Big Loser Award. You don't want to miss that. So let's kick this thing off with, we just finished up week 4 of the NFL, and obviously we're getting ready to go into week 5 starting tomorrow with the Rams and the Seahawks. But before we get into that, let's talk about a couple teams from week 4 that made some headlines. And one of the teams that was out there that people were talking about was the Minnesota Vikings, and how the Minnesota Vikings are not looking like the team that we thought that they were going to look like. Now, here's the thing. We did, well, you should have, I know I did, we should have tempered our expectations as far as a passing threat that the Minnesota Vikings were going to be. We know Coach Zimmer, Mike Zimmer, he wanted to focus on running the ball more. And that was the problem that he had last year with Dean DeFilippo, is that he was not running the ball. He was throwing the ball, and the guy lost his job because he did not want to run the ball. So we knew it was going to be, more of a mixture of run. But for the Minnesota Vikings, this has gotten pretty bad at this point because they are not the team that, we thought that they were going to be. They sit in last place right now in the NFC South at 2-2. The Green Bay Packers and the Chicago Bears sit at 3-1, and my Detroit Lions sit 2-1-1. Obviously, that tie has helped them out in this particular scenario, but we were expecting the Minnesota Vikings to be a bigger threat than they are right now. And I said this on social media when I was talking about fantasy football, but this goes for actual football as well. Reality football is that we are starting to get into the meat and potatoes, of the season where you start to separate yourself from the other player or the other teams that's in the NFL. Now, it is not all doom. It is not over by any stretch of the imagination. So, the Vikings can get back into this thing and be a dominant team. But right now, there are some question marks, and one of the question marks is Kirk Cousins, which he was a question mark when he was in Wisconsin. In Washington, excuse me. And now coming to Minnesota, he has been a question mark on their team as well. Maybe some people are thinking like, well, why did we get rid of Case Keenum? We could have got this out of Case Keenum if that was the point. But we don't know that. So you really can't, say something like that, but people will put that out there. But more than anything, this last game that they played, there was some miscommunications. Let's just say that between Kirk and the players. And now his wide receiver, Adam Thielen, came out after the game. And for me, I don't think Adam Thielen was really attacking Kirk Cousins as a lot of people looked at it. But I just think that Adam Thielen pointed out stuff that was very obvious and stuff that needed to be said. He went on, and I'm not quoting him, but I'm paraphrasing basically what he was saying, is that, look, at the end of the day, we got a job to do. And to do that job, we have to be able to run the ball and pass the ball. And if we run the ball, but we don't pass the ball, we will make ourselves one-dimensional, and that will be a problem in this league. Ultimately, that is what Adam Thielen was getting his point across. Now, yes, was that directed at Kirk Cousins? Of course. He needed to point it out because it was something that all of us saw. The one thing that I don't agree, with this whole situation, and I'll get to that in just a moment because I still want to, cover what this is all about, is that Minnesota has done a very good job at running the ball so far this season. And passing the ball, which was part of their strength last year, has been a struggle. And has put more pressure on this Minnesota Vikings defense, and they haven't been able to be the defense that people were expecting them to be. So a lot of people are putting this on Kirk Cousins, and with Adam Thielen's comments, it adds more fuel to the fire. Now, I'm not one to think that this was just a whole thing that Adam was like, hey, I'm going to, light him up. And I'm going to take it out on Kirk. And I think he pointed out the obvious. He said, what he needed to say. And Adam Thielen is not that type of guy as well. He's more of we talk about it behind closed doors, fix the problem, and then we go out and execute it. So that's why I really don't think the way that video was played, that some people saw, it was interpreted to what he was saying. And because the other thing, when you break it up, when he was talking about, having the best running back in the league, I don't even know you guys do refer to their own guy as the best running back in the league. But what I took that he was saying is if you have the best running back in the league, and he wasn't referencing Dalvin Cook because that would be really a guy like Zeke Elliott or possibly Le'Veon Bell in New York right now and some other running backs. But Dalvin is one of the top guys. But if you have the best running back, and he could have been talking about any running back.